Yeah, we don't know which way he's coming.
Mucha suerte, mi hijo.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
How do I make it out? Just sign
I'll
it?
do somewhere. Yeah, just sign your name. I got more.
Representative for Florida here in the greater Lakeland community. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for walking. I know some of you were out walking this morning, not just for me, but for my good friends who are here with me this morning also. And I'm going to start by turning the microphone over to one of my good friends. Very, very proud to say that we have a state senator representing our community who goes to Tallahassee, works hard, and always remembers her principles. Everything she does, I've seen her work we worked closely on a couple of bills my first term, and Senator Kelly Stargel always is Senator Kelly Stargel. She is always Kelly Stargel. She remembers who she is, what's important to her, to our community. So please join me in welcoming Senator Kelly Stargel.
Thank you so much for coming out on a Saturday morning. I know there's a lot of other things to walk for precincts and to make sure that we get out the vote. This election is like no other, and so I'm honored to be able to be here today, and I'm honored to be able to introduce someone that I've had the opportunity to know for 11, 12 years, I guess, since he first served in the Florida House, before he was the famous Marco Rubio, who was on the front of Time magazine. Got to watch him work and know his wife Jeanette and their kids. And similar to what Colleen has just said, he's the same guy today as he was then. The principles have not changed. What he stands for, what he's going to fight for, the kind of person that we need who will go up against the establishment if the establishment's wrong, that will stand for solid principles, principles that are important to all of us, and make sure he does the right thing all the time, not just when he's in the public eye, not just when it's popular. So I am very honored to have him in my community. I'm honored to be able to support him in his run for U.S. Senate, Senator Marco Rubio.
We got to make sure they win, and I'm so grateful to both of you for being here today. It's actually great to be here. We got here a few minutes early, and as we drove through the parking lot, I saw a stadium and some helmets over the fence line, and I said, let's pull up and watch it. Here's how this world is small. First of all, I love football. I've been around it all my life, very involved in it now at high school level as well. Thank you, I appreciate it. And so we pull up, we're watching it and all that. First thing I noticed is they're actually, in their scrimmage, they're actually going to the ground, like they're actually really tackling, which has become rare and rare in football today. Just in practice, in the games they have to tackle. But so afterward, you just saw the coach came in a moment ago, we started talking, and I actually played at an NAIA school back in 1989. He said, oh, where'd you play? And I said, Tarkio, Missouri. He goes, I coached against Tarkio. I was the head coach of Evangel College. We played, so basically I played against the team that coach your coach as a head coach all the way back in 1989. I said, go pull up the film. Number 45 at the right corner. That was me. But anyway, so that's how small the world is, and it's great to be here and great to be here with all of you in this important time in our country. First of all, I come to say thank you for what you've done and will continue to do, I believe, on behalf of our party, our movement, and our country. All elections are important, but they keep getting more important because we have failed to solve so many of our problems, and so they've gotten worse. I think this election is a choice that goes beyond partisan politics. I think it's a choice about our identity as a nation, as a people. And I think there's only two ways forward for America. I've been saying this now for a while. Our children, our grandchildren, the young people here today, you will either be the most prosperous generation in American history, or you will be the first Americans that inherit a country worse off than the one that was left for your parents. That's an incredible choice to make. But that's always been true. That choice has faced our country for over 2 centuries. And the reason why each generation of Americans has been better off than their parents is because each generation has confronted and solved the problems of their time. We have waited far too long to solve the problems of ours, and they've been made worse. And so now we face this point that we're at today. I believe that if we continue to do the things at the federal government that we've done over the last 8 years, we will become the first generation that leaves their children worse off than themselves. But I also believe that if we can change course and make things right, that our kids, our grandkids are going to be the freest and most prosperous people that have ever walked the face of the earth. And that's why I'm so passionate about public service, and that's why I'm so passionate about this election, up and down the ticket. As you know, I ran for president. That didn't work out. Voters made their choice. But I decided to run for the U.S. Senator, run for re-election, because the Senate is too important to let it go the way of Chuck Schumer and the Democratic Party. And here's why. If they can control the Senate, you will see a continuation of the policies of the last 8 years. The people I'm running against on the Democratic Party, if they're elected, they're in favor of releasing terrorists from Guantanamo in a time when terrorism is growing, not shrinking. They support this disastrous deal with Iran, the same deal that sent $400 million of ransom money to an Iranian regime that's the leading sponsor of terrorism in the world. These risks are too great. The next United States Senate is going to decide the balance of power on the Supreme Court. There is a vacancy after the tragic death of Justice Scalia. Who will he be replaced by? Someone who will apply the Constitution as originally intended, or someone who thinks the Constitution means whatever they want it to mean? The next president will appoint the person. The Senate must confirm it. And that is why it's so important we have people in the Senate that will make the right choice when it comes to those sorts of issues. We have so many other issues we can talk about. Time and again, the U.S. Senate plays an important role in our constitutional system as a check and balance, but also as a place to make progress. And that's why I'm so passionate about this race and so grateful for your help. I'm proud of the work we've done over the last 6 years. We all know there's problems at the VA. My office has had to help over 4,000 individual veterans in our state to confront and solve the problems they're having at the VA. One of them was my brother, that was a Green Beret from 1968 through 1971. And that's why I was able to write and pass a law that creates accountability, that gives the VA secretary the power to fire people that aren't doing a good job at the VA. Now, they haven't used that law, unfortunately, as well as they should have, but that power now exists, and hopefully the next administration will use it. I'm proud of the fact that we've sanctioned human rights abusers and terrorists from Venezuela all the way to Hezbollah, which is the toughest sanctions ever passed on that terrorist group, the ones that I wrote and that we got passed. I'm proud of the work we've done on human trafficking, a scourge on humanity. We passed a law called the Girls Count Act. It's a bipartisan law that says countries that are getting money from the United States have to take concrete steps to prevent children, especially little girls, from falling into the hands of these horrible groups. We've also passed the Foreign Aid Accountability Transparency Act, which creates transparency in how our money is being spent. Foreign aid is less than 1% of our budget, but that still means billions of dollars. And it's your money, and you deserve to know that it's being spent for the right reasons, not being stolen or misappropriated. And now we will because of the law that we passed. I'm proud that I was able to lead the effort to not once, but twice defund the bailout fund in the Obamacare law. They were going to take your taxpayer money to bail out private insurance companies who were losing money under Obamacare, as we knew they would. And I'm proud of the fact that we were able to lead that effort and save that money for the taxpayer. But despite the progress we've made, we have more to do. And that's why I need your help. Because in Florida, in a presidential year, elections are always close. You don't win by 15 points. You don't win by 10. You win by 2, by 3, by 1. Or in the case of the year 2000, by 500 and some odd votes. So what makes the difference in close elections? The difference is made by which party is able to go out and ensure that their voters show up. It's great to have supporters, but supporters that don't vote can't help you on election day. And what does it take to get people to vote? Reaching out, knocking on their door, calling them on the phone, ensuring they're returning their absentee ballot. Right now, for example, there's a primary on August 30th. There are people, over 1 million Republicans in the state of Florida, who have a ballot in their home. They are voters, and if they don't return that ballot in August, they don't count in this election. And if they don't return it in November, we lose. And that's why the work you're doing is so critical, and I know it's hard work, because I've done it. My involvement in politics did not start in the U.S. Senate or even as Speaker of the Florida House. It began by doing what you're doing now. It began in 1992 and 93 with volunteered in local races for Congress, by knocking on doors, by making the phone calls. Everything I've asked you to do, I've done before myself, so I know it's hard. Even when I ran for the State House, right? You have to knock door to door, and it's hot, and dogs are barking and chasing you, and people will open the door, and the fences are locked. But if you don't do it, you don't win. And so that's why I'm here to thank you for your efforts, ask you to continue to do it. You know how important this part of the state is. Republicans don't get elected if we don't do well in places like where we are today here in Lakeland. We just don't win. So I need your help, and I ask you for your help and your continued support. Together, we're going to win this election. But we have to start now, and I thank you all for being a part of this. I'm very grateful to you. Thank you for being here today.
sports in it. Photobomb and all these people unintentionally. Thanks again, and found your mutual. Thank you. Thank you.
My dad passed my mom.
I'm gonna leave you guys in here, and they're gonna do some pictures out here.
Oh, okay. Well, he's taking pictures.
Not right now.
I'm sweating here.
Don't worry, I got lots of stuff.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go over here somewhere. People don't even realize
Now, when do you go back to Florida State?
Sorry, I'm trying to get out of your way.
Here. Yeah, sit down.
Be careful.
Yeah, sit.
How about you? I'm gonna take one. I'm gonna be relieved when we go home.
Hey, Austin, it's Marco Rubio. Thanks for your help. Welcome aboard. We need all help we can get. Thanks. Okay, see you, man. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks. Yeah.
don't see a campaign bus around, so I'm not going to be able to get that on camera. At least I don't think. I thought they said he drove up in a car. Yep. That white car, that's what someone said, a white one.